note the Refuge Medical sign behind me. However, we're in the process of evacuating due to the No Kings protests that are coming. No, that's not true. We're moving from media from this area that we're in to another office up the road, so media can have its own dedicated area. However, there is a bunch of No King stuff going on, and that's what we are going to talk about right now while I grab this link and I create a post on my own YouTube and also share to Patreon. How's everybody doing? Is everybody in the chat? There's like one whole person here. This is great. Love it.
There might be more than that.
Copy link. So, Lauren, you sound
yes.
so husky, like, you know what I mean? Not like husky like your build, but you know, like
Horse? You mean horse?
What was the first word you said?
Horse? Horse.
H-O-R-S-E?
No, H-O-A-R-S-E.
It sounded like you said W-H-O-R-E-S. Yeah, and I was like, no, don't sound like that.
No.
Please don't do that. There's an upper respiratory thing going on around here. You guys probably know the drill. And I'm not sure if it's COVID 2.0 or not. I've grabbed the links. I've sent the links. What are you laughing about over there? Huh? Mike is calling it 29 Palms Tuesday. Would you say it's 2-7 out of 29 Palms? 2-7 out of 29 Palms. Just got to LA. Mike, as a former doctor of Marines, is pretty stoked the Marines are showing up to deal with the shenanigans in Los Angeles. Now, we've all been tracking on the shenanigans in Los Angeles here lately, but what people are maybe not tracking on is the potential, asterisk, caveat, all of the mitigating words, for nationwide protests on the 14th of June, 2025, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. Drink water, everyone. That watermelon LMNT is banging.
I like the orange one.
Thank you, brother Matt. You like the orange one?
Yeah.
We are.
Boxes?
You stay away from those boxes.
I haven't gotten a box yet.
That's because you're not going to Wilderness Responder. I brought one 12-pack out before Wilderness Responder. The remainder is for Wilderness Responder. You can pout all you want.
I'll still be working it, just not in the field.
Okay, well then you can have some at Wilderness Responder. We're trying to bring the news here, Lauren.
Sorry.
So, from DelawareOnline.com, No Kings protest this week. Where are anti-Trump protests near me? June 14th, Delaware protests. No Kings protests are taking place June 14th. Now, if my calendar is working correctly, June the 14th is not only Flag Day, so do you think we'll see a bunch of burning American flags on Flag Day? Probably. Are we going to see the waving of other flags like Mexico flags and Palestine flags on Flag Day? And if so, is that an insurrection or is it just a mostly peaceful protest as the Democrats are still choosing to call it? I don't know. It's also Shabbat, the day of rest. Doesn't sound like it's going to be too restful. I would stay out of the built-up areas on June the 14th. With the intent of drawing tens of thousands of protesters to the street to decry President Donald Trump's birthday plans to, quote, feed his ego, end quote, with a lavish military parade. Indivisible, a progressive activist group, is partnering with 5501 and others for the anti-Trump nationwide movement known as No Kings Nationwide Day of Defiance, coinciding with Trump's 79th birthday and the U.S. Army's 250th birthday parade. 250. How long, what's the age of an empire? Anybody read Sir John Glubb lately? Refuge, have you read Sir John Glubb lately? Psst.
What?
What?
I'm sorry, I'm reading comments.
You read Sir John Glubb lately? Why not? You just don't care, huh?
I'm busy.
You just don't care. You're busy. You just don't care that the world's going to end. Yes, the age of an empire is approximately 250 years, and it's the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. There's a lot of people saying, smells a little weird that we're moving all this armor and mechanized infantry into the Capitol on Flag Day, which is also Trump's birthday, smells a little weird. Maybe a healthy dose of skepticism is required in order to navigate in 2025, but not everything is like, trust the Q drops, bro, trust the plan, like, give it time, it's gonna be okay. Nah. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Is it plausible? I'm gonna go with no, it's not plausible. The phone's ringing. It's Mike. Thanks for calling Refuge Medical. This is Mike. How can I help you? Says Mike over there. The massive undertaking in Washington, D.C. will include vintage warplanes, thousands of soldiers, horses, and more, with Trump taking it all in from a viewing stand. Horses, y'all, they're bringing the horses. That's how you know. That's how you know it's actually going to be an insurrection day. They're bringing the horse-drawn wagons. So I would be very careful of that. The Army is not calling the event a birthday parade for Trump. However, the president has several times over the years expressed his desire for a large military parade in the U.S. He's also playing a role in the Army celebration, which had not previously included a rare U.S. parade. Here's all you need to know about No Kings protest near you, including New Jersey and nearby, blah, 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 blah. So if we go to nokings.org, I just pull that up while we take great comfort in our Refuge Medical OpVac here in ever popular Ranger Green. Give it a little kiss. We know we're going to be safe. On June 14th, we rise up, says nokings.org. And there's an interactive map here of the United States of America. All those little dots right there, all them little dots, if you can see it, those are all protests. Every one of them scheduled for June the 14th.
Looks like a massive chickenpox problem.
A massive chickenpox problem.
Maps got
Maybe what they're gonna do is all these people are probably did that thing and those two other things, and now they're all gonna be out in the open where they can be targeted. I'll tell you this, let's say I'm insert agency here. I am insert agency here. Cool. You know what I'm gonna be doing?
picking that map and scheduling the riots.
I'm gonna put people at every one of these events, and I'm gonna give them some what's called COTS, common off-the-shelf equipment, and we're gonna collect on every single person at one of these events, and then we're gonna throw all that into our brand new Palantir database, powered by qubits, and we're gonna say, hey, Grok, hey, ChatGPT, where do all these people live? And it's gonna spit out a list, and then I'm gonna send Tom home in there. That's probably what I would do if it was me. Definitely not Kristi Noem. Her weapons handling skills are terrible. Here's what the West Coast looks like right there, zooming in a little bit. That's California, all over the place. California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Nevada, Montana, Wyoming, lots in Colorado, several in New Mexico, a lot, I don't know, 2-3 dozen in Texas, a dozen in Oklahoma, which is interesting. Bartlesville, 3 in Tulsa, 1 in Tahlequah, 1 in Idabel, 1 in Durant, 1 in Ardmore, 1 in Ada, at least 1 in Oklahoma City, 1 in Ponca City, a dozen in Kansas, half a dozen in or more in Nebraska, half a dozen in South Dakota. Minnesota's got 2 dozen. Wisconsin's got 2 dozen. Illinois, several dozen. Around Chicago is at least 1.5 dozen on their own. Michigan's covered up. Indiana's covered up. Then the East Coast is complete. I mean, you can't even tell which states these are because that's the East Coast because of how many dots there are. So every state in New England on down through New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, the tri-state area, and then on down from there all the way into Florida. I mean, there's the eastern profile of the United States of America from Maine to Florida, and there's barely an open spot on the map. So I don't know how many there are, but I would say hundreds just at first glance. Let's see. Do they have upcoming calls today at 8 p.m. via Zoom? It would be really great if people within the sound of my voice were to hop on some of these calls and write in with your intel and tell us what these people are saying. Know Your Rights training, No Kings Day Town Hall. That's today, June the 10th. Also today we have Know Your Rights training, or they have. And they also have Conozca sus derechos, talar en español, and that's also today. Blah, blah, blah. No King's Marshal training, that's tomorrow. No King's Call for Veterans and Military's Family, that's on Thursday. Event attendee pre-mobilization mass call, Thursday, June the 12th.
This is where the bricks are.
Yeah, I'm registering for this call because I'd like to know what's going to be on this call. And while I'm registering for this call, I would like you guys to consider, do you have the appropriate things that you need to have? Say you happen to find yourself in a situation in apparently every major city in the United States of America right now, and things get weird, and you gotta go. And you gotta say, create a little bit of space. Do you have the ability to create a little bit of space to deal with casualties on and off the X? To GTFO, do you have the ability and proficiency to project force? Are you trained in the projection of force? Are you qualified in the projection of force? If you possess all of these skills and these capabilities, does it make sense to just not go to town on the 14th? Yep. What if you already live in town? Well, then I would have my freaking head on a swivel. Apparently, I don't know how many people are signed up, but I just signed up for their mass pre-riot call, and it wants me to share because over 1.5 million signups right there have come from people sharing on socials. So that's just from sharing. So there's 1.5 million people who have joined this just from sharing. So one could assume at least 3 million people who have signed up to participate in these events across the country. Does that mean they'll get the turnout that they want? No. Does that mean we'll see 3 million people riding in the streets? No. What's that?
What's the link?
NoKings.org. www.nokings.org.
You know, somebody's paying for it because marketing like that is not free.
Yeah, look at this website. Mobilize.us.
You know what's so funny? It says in America we don't do kings. You are absolutely correct. Remember when we fought a war so that we wouldn't have a king?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Not only that, how about to your point, who's funding this thing? Mobilize.us. Let's just do a quick Google search.
Spicy Snafu is in the chat. Local prepper said that there's 2 near him. 2 scheduled riots near him.
Yep. This freaking thing. I know I don't want to try AI mode.
They defied our courts, deported Americans, disappeared people off the streets. Is that correct?
Yep. Oh yeah, now there's disappearing as well.
Disappeared people.
Let's see. Founded in 2017, status, according to pitchbook.com, they have been acquired and merged. They have 18 employees. They've had 5 rounds of financing. I mean, somebody has poured money. They've raised capital 5 times since 2017. So that's 5 times in 8 years.
They're going to have it in Bartlesville.
Yeah, I saw that. Bartlesville. They're backed by private equity.
Shocker.
Hmm.
Are they going to do it in Fort Smith, I wonder?
Their corporate office is on 5th Avenue, Suite 600, New York, New York. So let's go ahead and copy that address and see what we find there. Who do we find there? Guys, we're shooting from the cuff today. This is not pre-scripted. This is John Musgrave, Agile Media Group, and Michelle E. Alpert. So, who are these people? Who's a John Musgrave? He's a massage therapist. Probably not him. Let's see. Agile Virtual Fleet. Teach to target market with impossible to ignore advertisements. Let's see here. They do trucking media, like signs on trucks. Who's Michelle E. Alpert? Family practice physician. So this is an office suite. So we need to dig in deeper. Oh, Swede Bank of New York is located here. This is the Crown Building in Manhattan. Let's see who is located at the Crown Building in Manhattan. See, we're doing a little OSINT walk here. Who is located at the Crown Building in Manhattan? Luxury hotel, retail brands, Chanel, 83 suite hotel, 22 residences. Okay. So, somewhere in this hotel is an individual or individuals that own, per pitchbook.com, Mobilize.us, which was founded in 2017, has been acquired by somebody, has 18 employees, and their most recent buyout, they've been bought out. They've had 5 rounds of funding, and they are the developer of a democratic volunteering platform intended to help marshal activists towards progressive causes. The company's platform is used to manage events and recruit volunteers with easy-to-use tools that automate routine tasks, provide up-to-date reports, and share events with partners, thereby enabling activists, progressive organizations, and democratic campaigns to plan impactful events and effortlessly manage volunteer data. Let's see, what else can we find on these? Location is New York, New York. Let's see. Their direct competitor is Volunteer Hub, based out of Dublin, Ohio. Continuing. Mobilize. Let's see if we hop on LinkedIn. We're just doing this in real time. We're just doing a little OSINT dive right now. I hate LinkedIn, but it has... Actually, we'll go back to Google. Mobilize.
Bernie is a partner with the No Kings.
Who is?
Bernie.
Bernie Sanders.
There's a whole page full of who their partners are. Behind Bend the Arc, Jewish Action.
Bend the Arc, Jewish Action. That's interesting. According to September 2021 update, Caitlin Mitchell is the president of Mobilize. Mobilize was founded by Alfred Johnson and Alan Kramer, who served as CEO and president until 2021. They have limited public data, total number of employees, blah, blah, blah. Mobilize was acquired by Every Action in late 2020 and became part of the NGP Van family, which was then a part of Apex Partners. Doot.
Jewish Voice Peace.
Jewish Voice Peace.
This is
also affiliated.
Page of partners.
Partners. Okay.
I mean,
they were bought for $2 billion in 2021. Wow, they have a lot of partners.
yeah.
Interesting. So, in related articles, we'll find Act Blue. Act Blue. So, who's funding these freaking terrorist attacks all across the country? Act Blue. That's fun. By the way, that's what OSINT looks like in real time with an iPhone. With just A little Google foo. You can do that as well. All right, it's not that hard. Which then begs the question, should I go to the cities on the 14th where Act Blue via Mobilize, who is running the nokings.org.
Planned Parenthood is also.
Who?
Planned Parenthood.
Oh, Planned Parenthood is also affiliated. So this is who we're dealing with. Who funds all these things? George Soros, the Democrats. Where do they get the money from? They laundered it through the Ukraine war as well as many other places. So you funded it with your taxpayer dollars. You are paying for the destruction of your own cities and towns, the demise of your own country. So do we have essentially a civil war here? Because on the one hand, the sitting president, a Republican, is calling in the 2-7 from 29 Palms to come keep the peace in California. On the other hand, the other side of the coin is funding all of these activists all across the country because it's incredibly well funded and organized. Interesting. Do I want to be caught in the middle of that? Nope. Do I have strong feelings about it? Yep, bet your tuchus I do. I don't want to be in the middle of it at all. However, if you find yourself in a situation where you live where this is going down, you need to have the appropriate things on hand. What do you got, Mike?
Question for her.
Oh, for her?
If you have 20 discount, I apply to package kits.
Yes, but it only applies to nylon.
Oh, so somebody called the store and wanted to know the Dad 20 kit, what does it apply to? It applies to nylon kits. So you can use Dad 20 on the OpFac, which Jen tells me over here in the sew shop we have plenty of in stock. What's the OpFac, you might say? I'll show you real quick. Mount this on your war belt, your headrest, your plate carrier, your chest rig, your whatever, your face. If you got enough beard hair, you can weave this into your beard and then you're always ready to go, right? And then when like one of these Democratic activists jumps up on you, you're like, whoa, bro, hold on. I have an OpFac. You reach in here, like so, you grab the red handle, and then you pull, and this part stays stuck to your beard, or whatever it might be. And you pop this open, and you have a perfectly organized compact. Will do all the trauma medicine things. Not boo-boo stuff, not Susie fell off her bike. It's not for that, okay? It's trauma medicine, pre-hospital trauma medicine. Made in America, guaranteed forever. Imagine that. 145. We're up to 145 lives saved with our kits. I saw, there's our little Made in America tag right there.
Hey, number 145 came from a guy who literally just graduated from my class.
Yeah, number 145 was alumni who had just graduated from train to trainer with Refuge Medical training. We also added We added 10 more seats to the Kentucky Sustainable Living class. It's going down, go to KentuckySustainableLiving.com for event tickets, but you won't have to if you buy the class from RefugeMedical.com, because with the cost of coming to our class, you get access to the entire Kentucky Sustainable Living Festival.
Are you really?
I just found that out last night.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, super dang, super dang.
Sarah's
And
here.
we added 10 more seats last night, and 5 of them have sold already. So if you're like, I was gonna come to that class, there's 5 left, and the class was already at capacity. We're gonna take one for the team, we'll add 10 more seats. Half of them have already sold. So,
Sarah said, hi, Warren.
hello, Sarah. I like Sarah so much. I talked to Sarah already on the telephone. She's very nice. So, who's funding all of this? Well, from our little OSINT walk, it's Act Blue. What's Act Blue? Well, we'll just, you know what if we just let the Google machine tell us? Who is Act Blue? Act Blue is an American Democratic Party political action committee and funding platform founded in 2004. Act Blue is a major part of the Democratic Party's fundraising infrastructure. As of 2025, Act Blue reports that it has raised $16 billion for Democratic candidates and causes since it was established. Huh. Wow. Surprise. Okay. That's what's happening here. And we did it in real time together in 20 minutes. So you can do this as well. What if I live in one of these cities where this thing's going down? Don't be where the problem is. And it's probably going to be downtown in these cities because that's where the most people are and that's where the most coverage is going to be. So I wouldn't be where the problem is. It's as simple as that. One block of removal would be enough. I wouldn't go to it. I wouldn't get embroiled. I wouldn't go be a counter protester. None of us wants to end up the next Kyle Rittenhouse, I would suppose, I would surmise. Do you have a right and a responsibility to defend yourself and your family and your property? Yes, you do. If they come to you, listen, I'm not a legal expert and I don't play one on television, but if they come to you and start some stuff, I think you're well within your rights to stop that stuff that someone else started. But you don't have a right to go to them and start some stuff. You're now a combatant as well. So avoid the problem. And could be nothing, but there's at least 3 million people that are registered via mobilize.us, which is the company behind the front-facing nokings.org, which is funded via Act Blue that we just figured out together. At least 3 million people registered to, would you call it a revolt? To demonstrate on the 14th, which is this coming Saturday. So I would avoid the towns. I would make sure you have everything you need to be prepared for not just this, but whatever the next thing looks like. If you have no idea what that is, or you need a little bit of help, or you'd like to get something, you can call the store, refugemedical.com. Visit the store. If you go to the contact us page on refugemedical.com, phone number is right there. Call the store, shoot us an email, use the live chat. There's a real person on there.
You should definitely just at least go look at all the new trainings we put up.
Yeah, oh yeah, and go check out the training tab. There's a lot of stuff coming. The class that's on June 22nd has a code on it. Responder 20 will get you 20% off that class. No other classes, just that class. June 22nd class. There are 5 seats left at Kentucky Sustainable Living, and promo code DAD20. You know, because Father's Day is coming, and as a father, the last thing I want, just being frank, is another freaking tie. Okay, I want something that matters, something that can actually save a life. RefugeMedical.com, promo code DAD20 for all nylon kits, which are proudly not the cheapest. You're right, because the cheap shit breaks and then people die. Nope, it's not the cheapest, it's the best. You can't have both. You can't have cheapest and best. And when we're talking about saving someone's life, I don't want cheap, I want best. And then if you think about the quality that comes in these kits, comparatively, they're not that expensive. One of our first aid kits costs less than the flowers for Dad's funeral. Oof. Yeah. Yup. And if you had a real first aid kit, that person that you love, and you knew how to use it, that person that you love might still be here. You want to deal with that blood guilt for the rest of your life because you bought some cheap shit and saved 20 bucks? Or do you want to buy a real first aid kit that works? So we don't even actually sell first aid kits. What we sell is peace of mind. One and done. Got a Refuge kit. It's the best that you can possibly get. Handled. Cross it off the list. Don't got to worry about it anymore. Because I don't think that it works. I know that it works. Because it's worked 145 times since we started this little company. What's that worth? Priceless is the answer.
We had somebody, no way, Jose, he's being very salty in the chat. He said if there isn't any lidocaine in the kit, then it's not a real kit.
If there isn't any lidocaine in the kit? Oh, for what? For your cracked tooth? Or do you want injectable lidocaine? Because what funny letters do you have after your name? No way, Jose, being salty in the chat. It isn't a real first aid kit. That's cool. No way, Jose, I would refer you to the 165,000 customers in our database, the approaching 50,000 orders, the products on 4 continents, the in service to all branches of the United States military electively, the 145 lives saved to date. You go talk to those people. The thousands of 5-star reviews, and the fact that you can call the store and speak to a human, not get a phone tree or AI this very moment. And your life is your life. You can buy somebody else's trash if you want. We don't sell trash. And in fact, I won't go as far as John Willis goes. But John likes to say to people like this, you're not my customer. You'll never be my customer. You're not allowed to be my customer because I will never sell to you. We don't have to justify ourselves to you or anyone else because the truth stands on its own 2 feet. And the truth is we make the best freaking first aid kits on planet Earth. And I don't think that, I know it, because 145 people are still alive that we know of. So, it's gonna get weird on June the 14th. It's gonna get weird. I hope that it doesn't, but hope's not a strategy. So, whatever you need to do with you and your family and your homies to be prepared for this, I would do it. And if you don't have the things that you need, give us a call, come see us. We're happy to serve you, unless you're Salty Jose from the chat. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm out. Shalom.
Push the button.
Hit the button, Lauren.